Hey, God bless you guys. This is day number 11. Day number 11 on the Wisdom Challenge. So good. Another day. Ramie was on today and just sharing some things about financial stuff. And we went into the Kingdom Wealth workshop today. That was super awesome. Just some chains were being broken about the wealth and poverty and how it relates to the kingdom and how it relates to our lives. So hopefully you guys joined up, you watched it, and if you didn't have time, I'm pretty sure they're going to send out an email anytime soon, and to get the replay, and man, just to dig deep in there. I know one of the biggest things that we need to know is that, like I said, is in Deuteronomy chapter 8:18, God has given us the power to get wealth, right? And one of the things that I've learned recently too is that, wealth is not a bad thing. Money is not a bad thing, because guess what? In this day and age, even in times past, you needed funds in some way, shape, or form to be able to be a blessing, to give, to support your family, and things of that nature. And one of the biggest things that was talked about today that I mentioned earlier is, for me is the biggest thing is, what is our heart posture towards gaining wealth, making money, things of that nature. And I know it's just sometimes it's taboo in family. It's not just in the church, it's in families. Sometimes in family, and families around the United States and around the world, it's like talking about money is like, oh, we don't talk about money, because people think for some reason gaining wealth is a bad thing. Well, gaining wealth is not a bad thing. It's just, what is our heart posture toward wealth? Hey, God bless you guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. But yeah, today it's like, what actions can I take to be generous, right? Because there's a lot of being generous in Proverbs 11. Like I just started in verse number 24. One person gives freely, yet gains more. Another withholds what is right, only to become poor. A generous person is verse 25. A generous person will be enriched, and the one who gives a drink of water will receive water. And I think that is so wonderful, and it's a good principle that God has given to us, that when we water others with generosity, whatever it is, a helping hand, or maybe monetarily, or something like that, giving information, helping somebody out when they just need someone to talk to, when we refresh others, we will be refreshed. And that is such a wonderful principle. And believe me, I didn't have this mindset before, but I know now, like, hey man, if we have the ability to bless somebody, just do it, because you never know where somebody is at in life, where they just need some generosity, even if it's a smile, or even like, hey, attaboy, hey Clint, what's going on? How you doing, brother? And generosity is, in respects, is not just about money. It's being generous with possibly our time, knowledge, smile, like I said earlier, a prayer, and sometimes it's money. Because like I said, we never know who we encounter in life is at a period where they just need that little something to get them going into the next day. And how much more we that know the love of God to share his love and be generous with that. Now on the financial side, there was something so keen that was mentioned in, if I remember properly, it was in the financial workshop, about having wealth and the importance of wealth for legacy, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that want to leave a legacy, whether it's monetarily or something like that, for their family, but they made a key point. How can you leave a legacy of wealth when you're not living in it right now or experiencing it or learning it now. Because like, let's say if you leave an inheritance to, if you leave an inheritance to people, after you pass away, but you didn't teach them the principles to keep it, to multiply it, there's a good chance that you leave that legacy of wealth or that legacy of something behind, and then it might not be managed properly. So the key important thing was that they mentioned is like, look, now is the time to learn how to steward, how to properly manage wealth, to manage or to increase your wealth and multiply your wealth now. And then because you learned it, teaching it to the next generation that you're leaving it to, so what was built and created will continue to flourish and multiply once we are no longer here. And I was like, wow, that was a key concept. I hope I'm passing that on to you guys properly so you can hear it, what he said. And I think it was Pedro that said that. But man, that was like that. I had to write that down. I was like, yeah, that is so true that I see. And there's a lot of people out there that want to leave a legacy, right? Especially in the wealth side, but we're not walking in it right now to pass on those strategies, those things that you learned, so the legacy that you leave will be intact with those people that you leave it with, and they will be able to manage that thing, and it'll keep on growing and growing. See, the wealthiest people in the world, they know how to do that. They know how to build wealth, but then they leave like knowledge, wisdom, training, in most cases, to where that wealth will just keep on compounding because they've instilled it in their people, their family, or the people that manage it to keep on building wealth. And I think that's truly what God wants us to do, is that when we pass things on, we want it to keep on multiplying, because that's the way God is. That's the way God is. So hopefully I explained that right. And so we'll see you on day number 12. God bless you guys. Hey man, take that understanding. Yeah, man, we want to be generous, but in our generosity, and we're trying to build wealth, we need to pass on that knowledge as well. So other people will benefit, and that building will keep on multiplying and multiplying even when we're out of the picture. God bless you guys. Talk to you later.